When Arun was only a teenager, an astrologer told his mother that he would fail his exams.
To the time that there was an astrologer who said कि ये 10th तो pass नहीं होगा.
When he was 15 years old, he ran away from home to become a cricketer.
When I was in 10th, I actually again ran away from home, trying to go to MRF Pace Academy.
When he was 18, he decided to study commerce just because his favorite cricketer had studied so.
मुझे commerce लेना है ताकि I can play cricket kind of thing, and it was as stupid as that.
Then how did this boy from Faridabad start his own venture, build massive products for Swiggy, and lead a team that gave exceptional growth? Find out from his stable story.
I was born, brought up in Faridabad. There's a whole story to how I ended up in Faridabad. But yes, my childhood was there till schooling. Everything was in Faridabad. 2.5, 3-day train and go through the Konkan and all of those and end up in Kerala. That was a feast in itself. But Faridabad, even now, right? Like when I actually go back, sometimes a year back, I went over there. I think it's the right. It just has that old world charm. I think nothing has changed much in Faridabad. Everything has changed around it, right? That has made a lot of difference, but it's still the same old galia with plotted lands, and where 5-6 p.m. you will find charpais outside and people coming together and current load sheddings and other things. I was extremely volatile when I was a kid, okay? And this is something that my close friends actually know. Like, my mom had to actually literally leave. I still feel bad for that. Like, I had to leave her job because one day I hid in a water tanker, जो छत पे होता है, right? When I was like maybe 4 years old or 5 years old, maybe 6, 7, I don't know what. But I just went into that with water till here, and I was there for 2 hours, 3 hours, because I wanted to scare my mom, right? Like playing hide and seek to the true level, to the point that this thing was not opening, the lid was not opening. And then I had to shout and all of those things for them to, I could hear them. And I was having a lot of fun hearing that there's a lot of commotion happening. I was really passionate about cricket, and I still am. I'll watch the worst of Kenya versus Bangladesh match also, or Kenya versus Papua New Guinea also. Even today, whenever I get the time, etc., because it's just on autopilot. One of the biggest thing my mom and everyone was worried was कि यार ये कुछ नहीं करेगा, 10th, 12th, ये बस ऐसे cricket लेके bat लेके चले जाता है. To the time that there was an astrologer who said कि ये 10th तो pass नहीं होगा. And on my face, kind of a thing, right? Because I used to be the person, I could only study if there was a TV in front of me. So when I was in 10th, I actually again ran away from home, trying to go to MRF Pace Academy in Chennai. But then, of course, I came back and... no, in the sense, reality struck. कि मतलब अब क्या करूँ करके, kind of a thing. I saw one stupid interview of Ganguly, and Ganguly telling I was the most studious student, etc. But I took commerce so that I could play cricket. I still remember that vague those 10 minutes, and I don't know what clicked, and I was like, मुझे commerce लेना है ताकि I can play cricket, kind of thing. And it was as stupid as that. During post-graduation, of course, it is the first year you do like a few things, and the second year you do specializations. At that point of time, I was torn between taking up finance as well as or marketing, kind of a thing. And that's when I actually decided to do marketing, because I was really passionate about it at that point of time. I could spend hours reading stuff and doing stuff over there. Everyone wanted to do finance at that point of time. First of all, it was a company that came. It was उस time जो भी आएगा ले लोगे. You're not like choosing कि I want to do these kind of things, etc. I wanted to get into marketing. That much I was sure of. And sales is what I started, media sales, right? And that, I think, was an extremely important thing for me to actually go through. What I wanted to do for sure was get into marketing. And I think even people in Z at that point of time knew that I would get into marketing at some point of time. United Breweries happened by chance. Like, of course, it was one of my clients when I was doing the media sales. The first time I went over there into the United Spirits Limited office, I was like, wow, what a life. Like, all the brand managers, product managers, all bottles, all up front in the tables, everyone's looking at it, like you're surrounded by them. That's when I was like, alcohol is something that I'm really interested in, right? Both in the bottle as well as off the bottle also, right? I started actually writing a anonymous blog at that point of time. I was just writing, one person in the corner, just writing stuff, whatever I learned, all of those things, only about alcohol. and that got subscribed by a lot of CEOs and CXOs of all of these companies based out of India and also outside. Samar Singh Shekhawat, right? So he telling, so Arun, after everything, right? There are people from brand marketing and other things who are there in general, pedigree, all of those things. Why would you be the good fit in sales kind of thing? And that was my punchline. You know what? You follow my blog. You don't know about it kind of a thing. So that got me into United Breweries, and it was one of the places that I was sure that I could spend my life over there. The moment I came, it was the time when Heineken was taking over. They had shares of United Breweries. So I came and I started working on Heineken. At that point of time, Heineken had just launched and it was in its scaling up version, right? So 2-3 brands, like earlier I was the product manager, then the group product manager. So I was handling Heineken, Kingfisher Ultra, Kingfisher Ultra Max, and multiple other variants of these premium/super premium brands. Heineken, for example, is a beautiful brand, right? It's one of the top brands of the world. Like every year when there is a marketing survey that is done, or top brands of the world, it's between Heineken, Coke, and maybe, Heineken, Coke, Google, Apple. Like these are the 3-4 companies that go up and down. What Heineken taught, or what I learned, was the fact that their level of detailing was insane. We would spend 2 days at a carton packing unit just to ensure, is it the right red, is it the right green? Everyone would know the Pantones of each of it, etc. That level, that's something that Heineken as a global brand could bring. I remember one of the campaigns that we launched over here, we used to call it the top spins. Heineken Legendary Traveler, right? Where the biggest call out was, you will send someone to NASA and hopefully they can get an option to go to the moon when they actually launch their manned vehicles over there. You have to go to the best of the clubs to the worst of the thekas, right? Actually, I wouldn't call it worst of the thekas of the world, etc., where your call out is gun bahar rakhna, ye bahar rakhna, all of those things, right? At the end of the day. I started visiting a lot of these places, and at least in Bangalore, over a period of 2.5-3 years, I realized I could actually guess on Wednesdays who are the set of people who will be in toit, right? Because I just saw them over and over again over there. I also felt do people need a different place to meet up? That's when I started something which is called Open Out, which was in short Airbnb for Experiences, before Airbnb for Experiences was launched. Where it was like, can I open up homes, passionate, talented hosts who could open up their homes and do something that they love and get paid for it, and 10 to 12 people who can come and have a nice evening out together. In fact, for 1.5 years, it was just purely on WhatsApp, and I saw great interest at that point of time. At one point of time, we were like, 3-4 people office, with everyone earning a decent salary, and I'm earning my UB salary kind of thing, nothing to worry about, all of those things. But it was truly about people coming together, and the stories over there, of course, were also pretty interesting. I still have enough Open Out guests and hosts who literally every week I get a message from them like, hey, when is it opening? When is it doing this? When is it doing that? That I'm really proud of was the fact that I remember one group of absolute strangers who actually came together once, and then they became such thick of friends, etc., that these 6 to 7 people were inseparable, right? Like they would then start going out for trips together, all of these things together, etc. I think the most interesting thing was one of our hosts, it so happened, right? Like it was a culinary experience, and host के घर में जो gas हो गया था वो खत्म हो गया. And there were people who paid 1,500, 1,700, etc. sitting over there and waiting. But it so happened that because of the kind of ecosystem we had created, everyone just started helping the host back, right? And then it just became one impromptu thing where everyone was just helping the host make food and arranging everything, all of those things. And then everyone had a great time after that. Swiggy happened because they were at that point of time setting up a team, a unit which was about innovation and other things, where they were specifically looking out for ex-founders. And I got an inbound because of that. And over the last 4.5 years, it's always been some mix of, most of it has been -1 to 0s and 0 to 1s of getting new ideas out and getting royally badgered, failing, and then, few of them succeeding and then becoming massive. I think within day 2, day 3, we joined a separate team where it was 2 of us, Ashwin, for example, Ashwin and me, working on a set of random ideas which we were like, we believe in this. We don't care. We need to be really, really fast, and we don't want to be chained by like, this is what BAU, this is the system, etc. And I think at that point of time, Harsha was also like, like it was pretty encouraging that someone could say, okay, these two guys can actually do whatever you want to. I'll support on whatever you want, and let's just get going, kind of a thing. For the first 2 years, the rate at which we made new things, right? I think that was like literally every week we would go to Harsha and we were like, Harsha, and you told us yesterday, this is what you have today, right? And like in a mock on a stupid app where he would just go like this and look at the customer experience, etc. I think that was one time where I felt like, that was the introduction, like how being really, really fast and just doing things actually is much, much more important than actually just spending a lot of time thinking about it and doing the perfect thing. In Swiggy, where we were going through a tough time and with lesser number of people, etc. Putting 2-3 people, like earlier if there were 15 people, now it was literally 3 people who were doing the entire thing, right? And like how chaotic comms and everything gets, right, in general. Putting it together, shaping it together in 1 month, and in the next 6 months giving numbers which were never seen, etc. Forget the numbers part, right? That's not important. But I think where it clicked was, again, putting people together and somehow bringing the best out of them from that point of time, right? I think stable money again happened because of the common connection between, like, let's say when I joined Swiggy, it was with Ashwin, and then again Ashwin introducing me to Saurabh in between. I've never been the person, I've never interviewed, I've never given a resume in general, I've never made one. You've seen my LinkedIn, it doesn't have anything in general. Like, you wouldn't have gotten anything out of it, literally, right? I wanted to really come back to a place which is again that 30 people, 35 people, and setting things up again. 2 days, अच्छा मजा आया बात करने में, हाँ ठीक है कर दें, okay, done. It was as simple as that. It's funny, right? Now that I've come in and we talk about referrals and all of those things, at that point of time I saw refer your dad, refer your mom, that kind of a campaign. I was like, यार ये तो चाहे मुझे नहीं पता ये कंपनी क्या कर रहा है, कैसे कर रहा है, पर अगर कहीं पे किसी ने सोचा है तो that's the right DNA. Like that, and those were the small things which actually contributed. And after that, I was like, yeah, I think I'll have fun. It doesn't matter what the outcome is, but will I be better positioned to do something on my own? Yes. Will I have fun? Do I have the chance to actually contribute even more heavily into a company where the stakes are high? I would, and then it was a no-brainer.